Roddy's Portfolio Builder. I think if you search Prophawk and Roddy's and all those, that you'll get it. If you have any trouble finding it, just get it on the chat. So when you first go in here, I don't know how well we can see it. I'll go off with sharing my screen for a second. All right, so in the app, the first button say, add a property you own, Roddy FLS auctions, auction bid, auction drive list, Roddy FLS drive list. The reason we have a couple different ones is sometimes people are uploading their own lists from other services on there. The Roddy FLS drive list is the one that you don't have to do any importing. So I'm going to click that. And it says select a county, select a month. So I was at Travis County, so I can start typing it in. Hit apply. And I can say for the next 3 months, so I could put that on there. So again, if you're also going to be leaving notes at the property to say, let me buy this, you can do all three. At the bottom, you hit apply. And now it shows those are the houses that I need to drive. And it puts them for me on a map. That little blue dot is where I am. So now I can choose which ones I'm going to drive to first. I'll say, oh, that one's the closest. So then there's the address. I'll plug that into the GPS in my car and I will drive to 7th Street. Once I go drive, I go knock on the door. If they answer, I say, my name's Aaron. Do you want me to, are you interested in selling your house? If it's a renter, I ask them how much they're paying in case I can invest in it. Or if it's vacant and abandoned, I'm going to look around. If nobody answers, I'm always going to leave a door hanger on that. It says, I'm an investor and I want to buy your house. When I pull up our screen again in a second, I'll show you guys how you can order drive reports where you can, if you don't want to drive the house yourself, you can actually order them and we will send a driver for you. You can order title reports on there, or you can order people to drop off those door hangers. But if you're going to do it yourself, you go to the app, and then now you'll see that little map screen that we just had. So now I'll click on the property, and it says skipped, complete, or picture app. So you might get there and it's so bad, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. You can just hit skip, and it'll take it off your list, and it'll automatically turn it into a frowny face. You're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't get in. A dog tried to bite me. I don't ever want to go back to that property. Or if you do like it, you go to picture app and it gives you all these different drop downs where you could say it's occupied, it's vacant. I'm going to hit pictures and it says with your photo or from gallery. So I'm going to take a few photos. So I'll take some photos just of, random surroundings so you guys can see that it works. One of our webinar going, you can see a behind the scenes look. And then on here, you could say done. So now it has my photos ready to upload. I'm going to go through and change some of the occupancy. Vacant, I saw it. The roof was bad though. The house was a siding house. Neighborhood was a mostly bad. And in the comments, I can say, this is only a test, right? But that's where you would take all the notes. If you're driving these houses yourself, you're going to forget, right? We take a lot of notes on there, when you're there, and sometimes you're like, oh, I'm going to remember this later. When you're standing in front of the house, write a book. Take as many notes as you can. That's going to help you decide if you liked it, what you liked about it, because you will forget later. Now I'm going to hit save in that upper corner, and it's saying uploading images. And all right, picture uploaded successfully. What are the odds that while I'm doing a live presentation that the technology works?
I'd give it 50-50.
50-50. All right, yeah. Let's see how 50-50 goes. Look at this. All right, so good news so far. Our little car lit up green. So that little car says that we drove it. Let's say this was scheduled for a November auction, right? You drive it this time, but then next time, in October when you get ready to drive again, if you want to drive it again, you can click that little car and it'll give you the option to say, hey, do you want to drive this later? Do you want to drive it again? Right now, it's got taken off of my map. So what I'll show you guys is when I refresh my map, it's not going to show up on my list anymore. And now it's just showing my next one that I'm going to be driving instead of the one that I just drove. All right, so now on here, I can click on it. And it's still the same first view, but now you can start to click through the images. And here's a picture out my window. It says this is only a test. This is only a test. It has it time stamped, and there's your behind the scenes footage of the picture I took of Curtis. It says August 14th, 2020. So it's timestamped. Now, the reason the timestamp is good is in November, I might go ahead and drive this house again. So I'm going to click here and it says, you've already uploaded it. Would you like to drive it again? If I say yes, that means I want it back on my drive list to be able to go drive it again. And so that green dot would go away and I could upload a new set of pictures, but all of them would still be there. The ones I did tomorrow would have a different date stamp on it. All right, so now I've done the pictures. We've got this little checklist here. It says, here's what you need to do. You need to review the aerial. What do I mean by review aerial? You look at it to make sure it's not backed up to train tracks or a major highway, or, you know, I wouldn't necessarily want to have a house directly across the street from the apartment. So you review the aerial so you know, is this going to price it up or down or not? So I'm going to click that and say, okay, I reviewed the aerial. Next, it says property tax check. So to check those taxes, let's see if this works. I'm going to go Travis County tax bill. All right, pay property taxes. Remember my address here, 2402 West 7th. Will that work, or will I need a name? I don't think that worked. So I'm going to go back over into here. It says the name is Philip Raymond Connard. That's not easy to say. So which one? Which is our last name? Which is our first name there, Curtis? You know?
I mean, I assume that Connard is the last name.
Let's see how I do. Connard. All right, Philip Raymond, 2402 West 7th. This is the one that we were looking for. And when I click on it, what I can see already is it says total tax due 0. So if there was money owed, it would say $2,500 on there. Every county is different. If you're ever in doubt, you can call the tax office and say, is anything owed on this one? So now I'm going to be able to click on here and say, hey, I checked property taxes, and there's no property taxes on there. Now, during our 2-day summit, we did a big class on how to do title reviews. If you go to roddytitle.com, you can order title reports on there, or there's a course you can buy to learn how to do title yourself. But in general, for the title review, you're going to go to the county, to either their website or in person. You're going to search the name, and you're going to look to make sure that you have a first position deed of trust, which means a first position loan that wipes out everything else. You're going to check for any liens, HOA liens, mechanics liens, things like that you're going to have to pay. UCC liens. Most liens go away, but like federal tax liens don't. UCC liens you're going to have to pay. And so there's a bunch of different items like that you do during that title review. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on there. Right now you go to roddytitle.com and you can order them. They're like $45 a piece. Or you can take the class and learn to do it yourself. And I think everybody should learn to do it themselves. The other thing that you can do on here is now we have these things. So these are my pics that I took. But you can also order pictures, or you could pay us to send somebody to go put a door hanger on the property, go leave a note. So you could pay $10 to get pictures and another $5 for them to leave a sticky note that says, hey, I want to buy your house. Put your phone number on there. Maybe a tenant will call you. When that happens, we send it out to one of our professional drivers. They go drive the house. They take customized pictures that only you see. So you could swap between, after that happens too, it'll say ordered pics. So you can say, what did my driver say? What did the one from FLS say? And you can also order title reports. The order title just broke everything because that button didn't work. I knew that one of the buttons would not work. So that was also getting added this week to be able to help you. So don't order any title this week, apparently. But the rest of it we're doing pretty darn good on. All right, and again, here's my whole Travis County list. That's a lot bigger. I want to go to just my favorites. These are just the ones I want to buy. The next list on here is you estimate the sales price. So this was a question that came up from Dana. So how do we estimate our sales price? So you want to do a comp pricing. Again, our 2-day summit, and for those of you that bought the videos, that stuff's in the video vault. There's also a 2-hour video for free in the video vault. So you go to FLS Online. I'll show you guys where it is, actually. Go to our website, and here in Resources and Video Vault, a lot of you guys were with us live, and you saw this stuff for free. Some of you guys bought it for a discounted rate right after that. This video here is free. It's a 5-step foreclosure blueprint. I go into a lot of details on there, hour and 18 minutes of how to comp properties. So you can go into there for 10 or 15 minutes. I'll show you guys how to price it. This one's for free. Anyone can see it, whether you're a member or not. Go to the video vault, watch this video. Pretty good. These other videos were part of the summit. You can buy, I think, all of the 17 hours of footage for $500. But the one that you guys need right now for what we're talking about, that one's totally free on there. And it's just a little bit of a review for what we're doing right now. All right, jump back over. So I'm going to make the assumption that we have priced the house. So if I click estimate sales price, it's going to make me put in a sales price on here. So if I went through and comped the house, I said, okay, it's going to be worth $550,000. And when my guy drove through there, he said, hey, it needs a new roof, it needs new cabinets, it needs new paint. You're going to have to come up with that estimate, right? You're just going to have to say, I think it's going to cost maybe between $25,000 and $35,000. I'm going to type $35,000 for the price. Again, I didn't actually comp this one, so I don't know if this is worth $450 or $550, but for my example, I'm just plugging that in for you. And then you decide, we know that there's no taxes owed. And when you do your title report, if there's liens owed, you put it here. You come up with a profit goal. Say, all right, so a house that is, vacant, but it has a lot of work to it. I want to make 15% on my money. And how much are you going to pay in commission? Do you pay an agent 5%? Do you pay a flat rate listing agent 3.5% or 3%? I'm going to say 3%. And that's for us, is we pay a flat rate listing agent on the listing side, and the buyers get a 2.5% commission. So I'm going to hit save.
Looks like we're having mic problems again.
What?
Nope, there. Just, I think if you talk in a high pitched voice, then we're good.
I just need to squeal.
All right, there we go.
Hey, the squealing works. Are you kidding me?
We're not having any problems.
All right, we good right now?
We're good.
All right. I switched to my laptop today. I've got my podcast mic here that just isn't working, so I apologize. All right, so if I go through and I marked, so we've got all the steps you're supposed to do in here. We call it our 5 steps, but sales, price, construction, and profit are all kind of one step. So now we hit go. And now when you look at your list, when you filter them off and on, you can see this one, you're totally ready to go to auction for, and you can see what your max bid is. You click on it again, and it's calculating the max bid. Why is the purchase bid on there off? I knew it was something, Curtis. There it is. All right, purchase bid $423,000. The $333. So that's how much you're going to bid. Now you can go back to your app. So you can either print that out before auction. You can go in. We have a drop down to be able to auction full. So you can click there, go to a PDF, and be able to look at it, or on the app. I will stop sharing my screen again. On the app here, you can see FLS auction bids. And when you click on that, you can select your county for where you are. You can select your months. And on there, you can see max bid you might be able to see max bid 423,333, and it has the address and the name. There's also this really cool search feature up here, right there. So you can type anything on there. If the trustee starts saying Alex Smith got foreclosed on in here, or John whatever, or this property, or legal description, you start typing any of that, it'll jump to the one on your list. So guys, we put our auction workers out there because we know that it is kind of a stressful environment and it's hard to follow. But if you hear a trustee saying anything, you can start typing in any of that, and it should be able to zero in and find it. So a lot of the part of what we've tried to do with Prophawk now is to make it much simpler and much faster for you guys to underwrite more properties. So there's less houses scheduled for auction right now. Usually there's 5,000, and now there's 1,500 houses scheduled. So we have a third of what we used to have. So that means we need to start with more. So first, you're going to start with more properties. You're going to use our software to be able to narrow it down, and then you can use it to either have us go drive. I recommend everybody do it themselves. We're just here for the people that if you're trying to expand, what we've had a lot of people say is, hey, there aren't enough in my county right now, so I need to do multiple counties, right? On your app, inside your Prophawk account, you can actually also add a user. So you can go in there and say, I want somebody else to be able to do my drives. If you've got a worker for you that does the drives, you can go into your account on here for $10 a month, add a user, and they can go in and use the app and go drive houses, right? And they can be able to log in and see it, but they'd have their own login to do it. And so you won't have to be giving them your username and password. They can log in themselves, but they have access to the ones that you marked as favorites. You can grow your team using the software to be able to do it, to have them go to auction. We've also had people saying, like, how do we attend more than one? Our Roddy employees, they'll bid at auction for you. There's a $500 service to have us bid for you. There's a bit of liability, and there's different things on there that we need to have you sign for that. But we do have people taking advantage of that service where they provide the checks to us. We have a bidder there. Again, when there's less houses going to auction, one of the keys is you've got to start with more. You used to be able to start with 150 in Travis County. Well, now if there's only 40 or 50, then maybe you have to try 3 or 4 counties with that same amount of effort to buy the 1 or 2 houses that you did before. So hope you guys liked that. I mean, we got to start with a bit of the news for September. It's really interesting postings. And we are super, super excited about what we've been building. Curtis and I every day are using Prophawk. We're coming up with new ideas and we're adding it. So I promise if you start using that software every week, you're going to see new things. If you see something on there and you start using it, say, hey, it'd be really handy if I could do this, this, and this, put it in the chat. We will add the feature. We are adding features to this thing every day, trying to make it the best to bring you guys some extra value. We believe that if somebody is going to auction and they aren't using our Roddy list and they aren't one of our subscribers, they're at a complete disadvantage. The part of that is these systems, though, for you. So if you are a user and you're not using our systems, you're not taking advantage of the advantage that we're setting you up for. How many times can I say advantage?